Hi, I'm Emily,
And I'm Don Hall.
and today we're going to talk about self-harm and suicide.
So first of all, what is self-harm? According to Mental Health America, self-harm occurs when someone intentionally and repeatedly harms him or herself in a way that is impulsive and not intended to be lethal. The most well-known forms of self-harm include skin cutting, head banging, and burning. Some other less-known forms of self-harm include scratching, punching oneself, and consuming harmful substances. While there are instances where self-harm occurs in a non-suicidal way, a majority of instances occur with the intent towards suicide. Rates of self-harm in the U.S. are typically highest among adolescents, with 15% of teens reporting some form of self-injury and increasing by at least 10 to 20% in college-age individuals.
Now, what is suicide? According to the American Psychological Association, suicide is the act of killing yourself, most often as a result of depression or other mental illnesses. Rates of suicide have increased between 18% to nearly 60% in nearly every state except for Nevada. In the top leading causes of death in the U.S., suicide is ranked 10th and can be caused by a whole range of factors. While suicide rates are highest among older individuals, rates have been increasing at an alarming rate over the last decade or so among teenagers and young adults.
When it comes to self-harm and suicide, we as a society are most likely to turn to the media for stories and facts. For example, we have the death by suicide of renowned actor and comedian Robin Williams in 2014. For those who grew up watching Williams as Genie from Aladdin, Professor Philip Brainerd from Flubber, John Keating from Dead Poets Society, or even just as a stand-up comedian, suicide and depression would have been the last two words they would associate with Williams. And yet, his death brought coverage to the concept that what we see may not hold true to what is underneath. At the time of his death, many of his fans were left wondering, how could we not see the signs? And this is a question that plagues any and all who may encounter individuals in their lives who either self-harm or commit suicide. So, to pose the question, how could we not see the signs? A few of the most common signs that could indicate the intent to self-harm or commit suicide include unexplained injuries, withdrawal from relationships, and a lack of interest at work, school, or home. However, it is entirely possible that certain individuals may not outwardly exhibit these signs as much as others. In cases like these, it would be completely understandable that those closest to said individuals could not see the signs.
Another example of self-harm and suicide in the media is the story of Kevin Hines. In 2000, Hines attempted to commit suicide by jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge and survived. He suffers from bipolar disorder, which was a root cause towards his suicide attempt. At the time, he stated that he heard voices in his head telling him, "I need to die." His thoughts at the time were instant regret, powerful, overwhelming. "As I fell, all I wanted to do was reach back to the rail, but it was gone." He suffered major injuries due to the fall, but ultimately this incident gave Hines the will to live. He now dedicates his life to help others in order to prevent others from completing their suicide. There are many available resources that an individual has if they are thinking about self-harming or contemplating suicide. Texting or calling the numbers on the screen can help an individual to talk to someone about what they are feeling, why they are thinking the way that they are, and to get the support that is necessary. Other examples of a resource is the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is a nonprofit organization that helps individuals who are gay, lesbian, transgender, or questioning, and helps them prevent them from committing suicide.